Hello, let me introduce myself for the new people. My name is Dr. Christian Seberino of Phil4. I provide math, physics, and computer programming classes and tutoring. My website is phil4.com. My email address is info@phil4.com. Right now, I'm discussing the math portion of the SAT. I'm specifically focusing in this video on arithmetic. If you have more questions or you need more help or tutoring, I also provide an SAT math prep class. I'm going to run through some vocabulary words now. I would recommend you stop the video and try to define these words and then see my definitions and see if my definitions agree with yours. I'm also going to point out some subtleties with some of these words. So let's get started. Integers, that's a set of numbers. They include numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., as well as 0, as well as -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, etc. Okay? Rationals, that's another set of numbers. That set includes all of the integers as well as all fractions. Okay, so the set of rationals would include 2 over 5 minus 7 over 8 and other examples. Positives and negatives. Positives are numbers greater than 0. Negatives are numbers less than 0. Okay? Notice that 0 is neither positive nor negative. Please also remember when you're taking the SAT and you're looking for a positive or a negative number that answers some question, don't forget that rationals are also positive and negative. Next couple vocabulary words. So go ahead and pause the video if you want to see if you know these before I tell you what they mean. All right, here we go. Decimals, that is another way to express numbers. Okay, every fraction has an alternative decimal representation. For example, 1/2 can be represented as 0.5. Okay. Interesting fact, not all decimals have a fraction representation. All right, for example, the decimal representation of pi does not have a fraction representation. Okay, odds and evens. Evens are integers that can be expressed as 2 times an integer. Odds are integers that are not evens. Okay, please remember that odds and evens can be negative when you're doing SAT math problems. Distinct. Two numbers are distinct if they are not equal. All right. Consecutive. Two integers are consecutive if they differ by 1. For example, 4 and 5 or -2 and -1. Okay. Digits. Digits are the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, basically integers that you can express, positive integers that you can express with one symbol. Okay. Moving right along, go ahead and try these if you are brave enough to see if you know what these mean. And let me now give you the definitions. Factors, those are numbers that multiply to give a number. For example, 20, okay, the factors of 20 would include 2 and 10 because I could multiply 2 and 10 to get 20. All right. They would also include 4 and 5 because I could multiply 4 and 5 to give 20. All right. When we're usually when we refer to factors, we're thinking of integers and finding integer factors. All right. Multiples. Again, multiples. Typically, we're focusing on integers when we're dealing with multiples. All right. Let me give you some examples of those. Multiples of 10 would include 20 and 40 because both of those I can divide by 10 evenly. Okay, that's what a multiple is. The multiple of a number is another number that can be expressed as that original number times an integer. All right? Subtle point, multiples can also be negative. Okay, so negative 10 is considered a multiple of 10. Remainders. A remainder refers to what's left over when you do division. For example, 7 divided by 5. How many times can you divide 7 by 5? You can, it divides one time and then you'll have 2 left over. So we say that 7 divided by 5 has a remainder of 2. Okay? And then primes, that refers to positive integers greater than 1 whose only positive integer factors are 1 and themselves. For example, 17 is prime because the only positive integers that are factors of 17 are 1 and 17. All right. 10 is not prime because the only positive integer factors of 10 are, well, they include 1 and 10, but they also include 2 and 5. Okay. So it's not prime because it includes more factors, more positive integer factors. Okay, and then the last 4 vocabulary words, if you want to test yourself now before I tell you the definitions. Sums, that refers to the result of adding 2 numbers. Differences, that refers to the result of subtracting 2 numbers. Products, that refers to the result of multiplying 2 numbers. And quotients, that refers to the result of dividing 2 numbers. Now, I'm going to be giving you some practice problems. I would like you to pause the video and try to answer the exercises I give you on each slide where I say practice problems at the top. Okay? Then what the deal is, I'm going to then provide the answers after asking you to solve some exercises, and then I'm going to discuss the relevant topics. Okay? The motivation here is I don't want anybody to fool themselves into thinking that they understand a topic when they really don't. Okay? You're not allowed to skip a certain topic unless you get the right answers on my practice problems. All right? Fair enough? So let's get started. Please calculate the following. 10 minus 3 plus 2, 2 plus 3 times 4, the quantity 2 plus 3 times 4, and then 2 plus the quantity 3 times 4. Pause the video and try those now, please. All right, here are the answers. The first one is 9, the second one is 14, the third one is 20, the last one is 14. Okay? Discussion. The topic here is precedence. There is a conventional order in which we solve expressions. All right? There's a priority list. Parentheses are the highest priority. You want to do that first. Okay? You don't want to mix and match operations inside the parentheses with operations outside the parentheses. Okay? And then the next highest priority is exponentiation. All right? And then the next highest priority is multiplication and division. Both of those operations are at level 3. Okay? And then the least important, the least in the precedence scale, smallest, is addition and subtraction. Those always get done last. If you have an expression that has multiple operations at the same level of precedence, okay, though which one gets done first? You evaluate from left to right. Okay, that's how you break the tie. Now, let me mention something that may be misleading. Sometimes people tell me that they remember precedence by remembering a certain acronym. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. The acronym of that phrase is PEMDAS. All right. And of course, the P stands for parentheses, and then the E stands for exponentiation, M multiplication, D division, A addition, and S subtraction. All right. That is great, except for one possible misunderstanding. The acronym PEMDAS has M coming before the D. All right, please know that that does not mean that multiplication has a higher precedence than division. Okay. Likewise, the A comes before the S. Please make sure it's clear you know that that doesn't mean addition has a higher precedence than subtraction. Okay?